Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 17 of season 17, the second to last race of the season in Division 2. My name is VNT Felix One. I'll be taking you through tonight's action. And a crucial race. Of course, the second to last round of a season will always be a crucial one, at least if you had a season that wasn't awful. And indeed, this season, far from awful, we have got a four-way title fight in the Constructors that's going to deciding races. Alpine, Ferrari, McLaren, and Red Bull. And all of them in full force tonight as well. Both McLaren drivers, Steve and Rossi, both Red Bulls, Sully and Rival, both Alpines, Kuko and Guga, and both Ferraris, Phantom and Lanky, in attendance, not replaced by reserves either. The Drivers' Championship also mathematically still open. Unfortunately, though, we do know that Sully is missing next week's season finale in Abu Dhabi, and he is the only one in mathematical contention to PC. So, unless there is a miracle on that front, really, yeah, that would be Sully out of the championship as well, and PC having been confirmed champion last week in China. But, of course, he can then actually finally mathematically decide the championship for him today. Yeah, he's 33 ahead of Sully. So Sully needs to gain 8 points on him today to stay within mathematical contention for next week in Abu Dhabi. In terms of tonight's grid, we have got one reserve in the Mercedes in Cruprio. He's a new driver that signed up a couple of days ago. We'll decide to see how he gets on here. He's replacing one of, I think Edwin dropped out first. He's in Edwin's car. But we are also missing Mihai. In the end, it's one the same. Doesn't really matter which one he's actually in. But yeah, so both Mercedes main drivers, I should say, unavailable for tonight's race. And we are also missing Owais in the Sauber. No reserve available apart from Cruprio, so the Sauber and the second Mercedes staying empty for tonight. Well, Sauber not completely empty. Papdog is of course here. Pix has already had a disconnect. That's great. I feel like it's sort of tradition at this point. And the first one actually starting a lap is... Oh, Porsche already passed on one, so we'll go with Cruprio. His first lap as a F1 driver, going down towards turn 1 here. We're braking just after the 100 meter board. There's a bit of a dirt patch on the grass on the left hand side you can use as a braking reference. Takes a lot of the curb on the inside, which you don't usually see. Now some overtake mode used down the second straight on the track and into the first in the bankings. Unlike real life, you stay very tight through there. You don't take the bank on the outside. It doesn't do much in the game physics to try to get you more momentum through the corner. Now, should be fully flat through here. The fastest corner on the track, I believe, as well. The tire on the grass on the inside there, and on the outside as well, coming to the next one, and he goes off! And that is the end of the lap for Cruprio. A bit of a mistake there, that's, yeah, had large implications for his banker on this qualifying. Not the start he needed to qualifying tonight, but he still got plenty of time left. That is far from the end of the world, really. No need to panic, just yet at least. Pocho puts in the first time of the session a 1:11.004. Phantom just starting a lap, so we'll try again with him. So, going down towards turn 2 and now turn 3. Same as earlier with Cruprio, of course, hugging the inside line. Goes a little bit deep on the exit. But now, back of course, fully on throttle, using ERS as well. Down through 4, 5 and 6. And into the fully flat out right-hander of 7. Doesn't get quite as far to the apex as he would like to be, as Guga goes top with a 109.76. A little bit of a lift through 8. You can take it flat there, but Phantom playing it safe. Now, through turn 9, there's a bit of a glitch on the inside there. You can pick up grass even though you're actually driving through grass. And that's what you should watch out for as well for drivers, not to get too close to that grass on the inside. Picks now back in the lobby. So, down towards turn 12, breaking a 100 meter border just after it, as the curb starts on the left-hand side. And really nicely through turn 10 as well. Exit, very crucial here. And Phantom, I think, a little bit late in the throttle. Now, through the final corner, braking at about 30 meters. Fifth gear on the exit. And now, overtake used all throughout the banking here. DRS enabled as well, hugging the inside line, down towards the line of a Phantom. That's going to be a 109.937. That is P3 at the moment. As Sean just put in the fast lap ahead of him, 109.517. Gabri, another driver to look out for, of course. P3 in the standings this season. Wasn't a championship fight for a long time. And he's going to go pole position, 109.336 for the Haas driver. His teammate Flavors coming at the end of a lap as well. Crupio finishing his second run now. 10.538, this time it's actually completed one. That's enough for 7th position between Aussie and Pubdog. And now Flavors down towards the last corner. His teammate currently on pole. We'll see if he can get closer. And of course, Flavors did win the Division 3 test race yesterday. So good signs for him to maybe also be competitive in Division 2. His lap time, a 109.786, 4th fastest. Flavors with a decent start to qualifying here. Ahead of Phantom, ahead of Viral, ahead of some fast guys. Sully, 22.2 first lap. I assume he had a spin or he abandoned the lap. So he's going to, of course, have loads of time to gain. Lanky coming towards Intersector 1 as well here in the second Ferrari for the 24.686 first sector. Sully, yeah, 9 seconds up. Of course, loads of time to gain. And one more corner to go here. Well, one proper corner to go. This is technically a corner as well, this banking, but it's fully flat. I can't gain time through here. And Sully goes down to the line. That's going to be a 109.587, and that is P3 for, as well, still our reigning champion. No, our reigning champion is Edwin. Jesus, Edwin is so washed that I actually got Sully saved as in my mind as champion, even though it's 2 seasons ago. As Lanky has invalidated his first run of the session. BC really now on his first run. Our current championship leader and likely champion to be. A 33-point gap with 2 races to go, even if Sully were to attend next week. He's gonna need a bit of a miracle. GM with a 48.6 minutes a day. He's next across the line here. In the Aston Martin. Behind him the Ferrari of Phantom, who will be on an in-lap. GM now fully flat and down towards the line. And that's going to be a 109.990. That's enough for 7th position. The next one across the line, I believe, is a Williams. That could be Pix. 49.3 middle sector. 50th in the final corner. Not as much speed carried by him there as we saw from other guys. Oh, and it's a little bit loose in the banking as well. Dips a tire on the grass. That's a 110.791, which is P11 out of the top 10 for picks in the moment. Then McLaren over the line as PC Woody going top, 109.077. 3 tenths clear, well, 2.5 tenths clear of Gary at the moment. A great banker with PC Woody there. And a bit of a statement lap that he's gonna do what he can to win the championship tonight. Even if Sully were to win, as long as PC Woody finishes second, he is champion. And right now, Sully is 4th, PC Woody is 1st. Lanky now finishing a lap. And that's gonna be, oh, 125 I think. 24, okay. So not a competitive lap time by him. Viral has abandoned the lap. Phantom has invalidated. Is anyone on a hot lap, lads? Pubdog, thank you. We've got someone. Coming through turn 1 there in 4th gear on the exit, so a bit of short shifting for the Sauber man. Gets the car into the banking of turn 3. Once again, 4th gear the whole way through. So he's keeping the res low. Two tenths up in the first sector on that 10.7 he did earlier, and there's a Mercedes off in the grass. That's Criprio, of course. Only Mercedes in this race. And it looks quite good from Pubdog so far, very clean. No mistakes. A little bit wide of the apex there maybe. But around Zandvoort, keeping momentum can be more important than having the cleanest racing lines. And yeah, Pubdog up by almost 4 tenths with that. And that will put him ahead of Criprio, behind Aussie. Into the last corner for Pubdog. 10.799 to beat. And we've got a 110.302 P11. 19 thousandths only behind Aussie. Fairly close to the two of them. Pocho, half a second up in the first sector, 7.5 tenths up in the middle sector. Big improvement coming from Pocho. Oh, that's a big mistake though, as he comes over the curb on the exit, and now on the grass in the final corner. And that, I think, has ruined the lap firmly. We'll see still on the times, and again in the grass. Surprised he hasn't spun out from all that grass. And we've got a 1:10.619 still, almost 4 tenths gained. But yeah, he threw away easy half a second there in that last sector, I reckon. Kuko, one to watch out for as well. Always Kuko, one of the fastest guys in the division, and that's P2, 109.226. And that is what he needs to get himself and to get Alpine some valuable points in that Constructors' Championship fight. Especially McLaren, Red Bull, Alpine very close together, 10 points separating the top 3 with 2 rounds to go. Ferrari, I think 40 or 30 something points behind. Aussie into the last corner. 10.283 to beat, which is currently P11. Let's see if he can get into the top 10 here. That's a 109.870, and indeed that's enough for P10 as he gained 4 tenths. Price is only 1 place, but it's there's a bit of a gap between himself and the top 10. Kuprion validated. Potros on his way back to the pit lane here, so letting people pass. Picking down towards turn 1. Gabri abandoned the lap, it looks like, so he didn't get a good one in. Sully 30,000s up after middle sector. Let's see if he can gain some time in the final one. Viral up ahead. Is he about to give him a tow? No, he's gonna let him through. Oh, Viral. Are you about to start a lap from here? This is not good for Viral. Oh, I see him going back to the pit lane. Oh, Sully's at a mistake! He's slowing down as we come back to the pit lane. No improvement from Sully this time around, and we've got yellow flags over the entire track right now. As Potros retired from the session. How's he done that then? Go on board with Flavors? No, Gabri? And he just despawned. Great, I was a little bit too slow. But it seemed like he crashed in the final corner, Potro did. So he will not be improving that on that 10.619, which is down in P14. So bad news for Potro here in qualifying. And on a track like Zandvoort, can really use some good qualifying. Oh yeah, I have not actually checked the weather. Are people crying? Phantom is saying no rain, Pix is saying full race rain, Sean is celebrating, Viral asking for a restart. So I think it's a dry race. Yeah. That is the context I'm getting. Yeah, I don't think it's full. The only one saying it's full wet is Pix. And he's and all the wet weather merchants are asking for restarts and crying about it, so I think it's dry. Pix just taking the piss. We've got Jay coming to Sector 2 here. That's a 1/10 improvement. Could put him back into the top 10. Fourth gear in the final corner. Rather than fifth, we saw from almost the other guys. And for Jay, that is a 109.631. A great final sector, and that puts him 1,000 net of Phantom. No, sorry, 31,000 net of Phantom. I can't read. But still, P7 for Jay, that's the main thing. Lanky on another lap here, and he is up by 1.5 tenths in the first sector already. And he needs a big improvement, down in 17th right now. That's not gonna be much help in the Constructors' Championship fight for Ferrari. Right now, 9th and 17th. They really could use some improvements here in qualifying. Get further up the field, especially a track like Zandvoort. Yeah, you don't want to have to make a comeback drive like that. And now the top group coming out of the pit lane for what might be the last run already. I'm surprised Kuko, Guga and Sean are so early. Still 4 minutes to go. But it's also too late to go back in the pits again. Kuko 23,000 up in the first. We have got Lanky down to the line now. And that's a 10.213, that's P12. Almost 7 tenths gain, and Lanky goes up 5 positions for that. Sully on his last one as well now. Sean up by 3 tenths, a big improvement coming. Guga down by 1.7, no improvement coming there. Kuko. Game 1, tell me. Great. We'll have to see when he comes over the line. Sean down to the line, 3.5 minutes to go. currently in P5 with a 9.517. And that's going to be a 9.075. Sean is on pole position as he gains half a second. Kuka goes back in the pits. He wants to try one more time. And yeah, he literally fully launched into the pits as well, trying to get back out on time. 3 minutes to go. Yeah, it's a short lap. He should be fine. Sully now for the last corner. 9.587. The previous best for the Red Bull driver. P6. He's going to need a big improvement here. Ah, that's something, but it's only P5. 9.452, 10,000 ahead of Guga, who I think might have one more lap in as well. Viral 6,000 down in the first sector. Phantom Fox also now in his last run, currently 9th with a 9.661. That's fairly close. I mean, if he gains 2 tenths, I would already put him in the top 5. And I think that's very doable for Phantom here. There we go, already a 10th gain in the first sector. Who else is on a lap right now? Viral finished his. Sully finished his. Sean finished his, and the rest are in the pits on out lap. So Phantom the only one on a hot lap. I think he's bottled it. Or he's gotten blocked. Either way, the lap for Phantom, not the one. Viral over the line. Does improve by 27 thousandths. Stays in P7. And Aussie with a crash. And that's the end of his qualifying. Lost the traction in through turn 2 and then slammed on the wall turn 3. Gets off people's way at least. But his lap is ruined. I think he picked up damage from that as well. At least with the size of the impact you would think he has damage. He's got 1.5 minutes to go, so if he doesn't have damage he can get one more lap in. If he does, it's over for him. Papdog on his last run now, and so is Krupio, but he's invalidated. No improvement coming for him. He's stuck in P14. What's Papdog's first sector? Game 1 tell me, great. But he's got some traffic up ahead. Not getting out of his way, a little bit late maybe. Certainly some dirty air being given there, I think. .302 to beat for Papdog. And he's up massively, almost 4 tenths there. Put him in the 109s, maybe into the top... oh wow, he needs half a second improvement to even get Aussie. Should have Lanky with this. Maybe a little bit more, we'll see. Oh, that would have helped. And mine now wobbles in the last corner, dipping a tire in the grass now, Viral out the session. And Papdog 9.837, that's enough for P11, only 1 position gain with that, despite the massive time gain. Phantom down to the line here. Has he got an improvement for us? He does! 9.444, that's P5. Sully's out of the session. PC Woody. Sean stayed in the pit lane. PC Woody 5,000 down. Gabi starting his lap. So Kuku. Guga, he also needs an improvement here. His teammate up in 4th. Alpine fighting for Constructors Championship, 4th and 7th. It's not bad. But I wonder a little bit more. Red Bull was bad qualifying, would think. P6 and 8. Not what they need either. Especially Sully, you expect to be further out the field. I think Viral has done well for his standards. Oh, Guga, that one have helped. Tire fully in the gravel. Losing traction at the corner. PC will be 1.5 tenths up. He might be about to steal pole position here. And that looked a good final corner as well. I think PC Wooly is about to go back on pole position with a 108. And that's going to be a 108.817 indeed. PC Wooly on pole position for the moment. 87,000 gain for Gabri. Won't be enough to beat PC Wooly. Kuka back in the pit lane. No improvement coming there. Flavors 7,000 up. He's going to probably stay in P10. Yep, P10 for him. Gabri, if he has a great final sector, maybe he can beat PC Wooly, but I doubt it. Not a 9.103, it's enough for 3rd place, stays where he was before. Lanky's still going, 3 tenths up. Might beat Pix, maybe a little bit more, we'll see. P14, no more than P14, only beat Pix, 109.943 for Lanky. And with that, qualifying is done. PC Wooly is on pole position once again. What an end to the season he's having. By over 2 tenths, 2.5 tenths, the gap from Sean to PC Wooly. Then we've got Gabri in the Haas, 109.103 with the default Haas livery actually. We've got 2 custom liveries. And you're running the boring Stand that one, Gabri, come on. Then the two Alpines in 4th and 5th, Kuko and Guga. Solid starting positions for them as well. Guga improving a little bit at the end. Phantom in 6th position, 109.444. Two Red Bulls, 452 and 562 for Sully and Viral. JM in 9th, 109.627. Flavors, the winner of yesterday's test race in Division 3. Rounds on the top 10 with a 109.640. Then Bazooka, 109.828, very close with Pub Dog, 109.837. Only 9,000 separating those two. Then Aussie, 870, also very close behind Lanky, 943, the last one, the 109. So we've got Pix in P10 with a 110.073. And then almost, a bit over 2 tenths between Pix and Criprio in 16th. 10.301, Pochon 17th, 110.619, and finally Action Rig in 18th position, 111.262. So, strategy-wise, what we saw yesterday, it is going to be mostly one-stop to two-stop. I think some went for it. I think Lanky would have done it, but he got caught up in some incidents. So unfortunately, we didn't see if it would have worked. But I do think that the one-stop strategy will be the meta. And something I have not touched on at all today so far, which I do apologize for, it's completely slipped my mind. Sean, with his 100th race in Division 2, a milestone for him, and a good qualifying, P2, which is unusual for Sean. Usually he's a lot better in the race than the qualifying. But on the front row, for tonight's race, we'll see what he can do. Tire-wise, we've got Hearts for Jay, Papdog, Criprio, Pocho, and Action Mix. The guys in the bottom of the field mainly opting to try and go long, stay out of trouble a little bit maybe. Rest of the field, all on the same strategy here, all on the mediums to start with. And we'll see what they end up going for, if we've got one stops, medium to hard, hard to medium, or two stops on the cards. Tire overheating will be a problem for sure, especially on the front left. It's always been a problem around this track, and on F125 the tires only become more of a problem compared to the older games. So that will be interesting to see as well. I mean, hard soft is one hell of a weird strategy. I don't know why the game would suggest that. The soft is not a great tire at all. I do not recommend anyone goes to the soft. But we shall see. It is PC Willie on the front row, Sean alongside him. Behind that, Gabri and the two Alpines. Fairly short run down towards turn 1. So, it'll be crucial to get away. Slipstream can't really save you. And let's see who's going to come on top, down towards turn 1. PC Wooly or Sean. We've got the 5 red lights. We're ready for race start here in Zandvoort. And a drive-through penalty for Crupio as he jumps to start. And now it's lights out, and away we go for everybody else. PC Wooly with a great start. Completely clear. Sean was under pressure from Gabri as he tries to go around, yet he locks the tyre up and goes deep. Sean holds on to second place. The crash behind. That's a Mercedes and a McLaren. Crupio and Aussie. And that's crucial for the championship fight. Aussie now being out of the fight for the points. As Kuko and Gabri battle over third. Kuko goes around his outside, a beautiful move to get himself out of the P3. And behind we've got another battle. That is JM and Flavors now battling for 9th. But Flavors opts to back out of it into turn 7. Doesn't want to get involved or anything crazy like that to try and go around the outside there on the first lap. But maybe up the inside here for Flavors. He has a gap. JM leaves him the space. Nice respectful racing, but JM once again comes on top with the better exit. Of course, JM on the hards. Flavors on the mediums. Flavors should have the better tire, should have a bit more pace right now off the start. That explains where all the pressure is coming from between those two right now. Interesting to see now as we come towards the lap if anyone else pitting. Of course, I've got Cruprio and Aussie on my mind. They were involved in that turn 1 crash. We'll see if they come in the pits, and we'll see if anyone else does now. Maybe something I didn't see, but it looks like all good for the leading pack and the midfield and everybody else. Trupio looks to be going to the pits, also he's going to keep going. Trupio gets a 10-second penalty for speeding as well. His race going from bad to worse, not the start to his time in F1 Total. He would have wanted for sure a crash at turn 1. And then speeding in the pit lane. And retires from the race as well now. So after only one lap, his debut in F1 Total already coming to an end. A bit of a nightmare really for him. Out front, Pisivoli has got Sean closely behind him. Bit of pressure being put on Pisivoli with Sean. And we've got a crash from Bazooka, as he's gone off at turn 8 there, I think. And I can only guess he understeered through turn 8, went on the curbing. And from then you are a complete passenger. The car just goes completely straight to turn 9. And he could not get a stop before the wall. No safety car there, surprisingly. And Bazooka out of the race on lap 2 as well, already, very early on. And that corner is so treacherous. I don't think that's the last we've seen of it. We saw quite a few people go wide there in Division 3 as well. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on turn 8. Because it's a bit deceptive. It is definitely easy flat if you are in clean air. But if you get, say, as close to Cuckoo as Gabri is right now, that corner is so far from flat out, it's very difficult to judge from the dirty air how much speed you can carry through there. And it's very easy to make that mistake, to go a little bit too far on the throttle and just understeer ever so slightly on that curb, and there we have it. That is Sully who went on it, and now rejoins behind Phantom Fox. And I think another one, because we've got movement, a lot of movement in the back, as Poch is already up into 11th. Good start for him so far. JM and Viral battling over 8th. And Viral has got the position. Phantom has dropped out of DRS range to Kuka up ahead. I think that might have been with that battle that he had with Sully. Of course, Sully making the mistake at turn 8. Phantom slipping through, but it's cost both of them time. And it's cost both of them the contact to leading train as Sully gets past Phantom in the banking. Phantom moving very slowly there and loses another 2 places to Viral and JM. Maybe he had a half spin from the banking. Loads of mistakes early on. Gabri has underfueled the car. It's a risky move. Almost cost Flavors a win yesterday. As Aussie has gotten back past Action Rig for 15th now. And Gabri's on the inside of Tuco to the ground. I want him in contact, and Gabri spins off. Gabri with a hopeful move up the inside on Kuko. All or nothing. Of course, he's got nothing to lose at this point. No championship fight either in the constructors or the drivers, and he fully goes for it. Lucky for him, he got away with that one without any damage, but he has lost loads of places and loads of time. Drops just ahead of Aussie into P14 now. And I think that was just a bit too ambitious from Gabri, maybe. You'll have to look back at a replay to see if maybe Kuka moved over. I mean, Gabri was alongside, but it was such a tight gap to try and squeeze through the inside to turn 7. And it's put him out of contention for the race win. Unless there is a, well, I was going to say a minor miracle, but maybe a major miracle. He needs to get 13 places around Zandvoort. A track which is notoriously difficult for overtaking. And that applies to both real Formula 1 and the Formula 1 video game. Gabri has made his race a lot tougher with that. We've got a top 8 train right now. Viral close to losing DRS to his teammate Sully up ahead. JM close to losing DRS to Viral. But at least at the moment, the top 8 all in one DRS train. Then a bit of a gap to Lanky in 9th, and he's got the rest of the field basically behind him. Kuko struggling to keep up with Sean and PC though. It looks like PC has got a bit of pace over everybody else. He's got Sean out of, also at yeah, sort of arm's length. He's not going to be able to get a bit of DRS, it looks like, because Sean also has some ERS left. He's not going at full speed, but neither is PC. Looking at the ERS deployment, they still have left. But PC seems comfortable in P1 to be able to defend, but not drive away. And we'll see if Sean can pick up the pace. I mean, if he finds another 10th lap, that is already the difference here, I think. Or if PC makes one single mistake, Sean will be there to pounce on it immediately. And Viral has lost DRS to the top 5 breaking away now. Sully, Guga, Kuko, Sean, and PC Woody. As Pocho makes a move on Lanky Brown up into 9th here. Pocho. Ah well, I spoke too soon. He has lost out in the battle and he's back down to 10th. But nonetheless, he's having a great start. I believe from down in 17th. And already made up 7 places, did he? Yeah, 7 places. Pocho, the biggest winner of the opening laps here in Zandvoort. But after Lanky, there's a bit of a gap to the rest of the field. 3 seconds from Lanky to Phantom. So Pocho's gonna have a tough time getting back in the fight for the top 5, especially. They're even further away. Of course, he has got the advantage. He's currently on a hard tire. He will probably be faster in a couple laps already. The medium goes off fairly quickly around here. And he will have the faster tire at the end when he goes on the medium while everybody else is on the hards. Of course, the medium is the one that mainly struggles with overheating. Well, soft even more so, but you don't run the soft, so yeah. The hard is a bit more manageable. And that will also be easier than at the end. As Sean is taking the lead. Or is taking the lead. As we go through turn 1 there. Sean is swooped around the outside on PC Woody. I was looking at the battle between JM and Viral. Pocho's gotten past Lanky as well. I think I literally missed every... Like there was, I think 3 or 4 all taken to turn 1. I missed all of them. Unbelievable stuff by me. But in his 100th Division 2 race, Sean is taking the lead once more. Ahead of PC Uli now, but PC Uli is so close behind him. And I highly doubt there will be any charity tonight. PC Uli wants this race win. He wants to win the championship in fashion. Oh well. First off, he wants to win the championship, and then secondly, I think he wants to win it in fashion. And look at the overspeed he has on the straight already. I think Sean with a bit of ES saving there. PC Uli moving a lot closer. And Sean needs to be very careful not to allow Sean and Kuku in too closely. If he loses 2 places at once, that's where it gets really difficult for him. But so far Kuku is far enough back that he doesn't have to worry. PC now with one hell of a run there down the main straight. And absolutely rockets past Sean Wolf for the lead of the race once more. PC Uli has reclaimed it. And Sully will be seeing that ahead of him and thinking, I need to get past these Alpines. I need to get involved. I cannot just allow PC to win this race. Because, I mean, even if he can't actually race next week, if by some miracle he can, he's for sure gonna want to be in the title fight. So he has a lot of motivation to beat PC really tonight. JM on the hard tires is definitely gaining on the top 5 now, and he's pulling Raul and Phantom along. So this looks like this 5-way fight might be turning into an 8-way fight at some point. See, really 5/10 clear from Sean, but both of them with a lot of ERS charge here. Kuku, a little bit less ERS, well, quite a bit less ERS actually, and a little bit further behind. So it looks like Sean and PC really are the main pace setters in this race so far. We'll see if that changes later on, if maybe Kuku or Guga finds some pace. JM's strategy will be very interesting to see how it plays out against those medium runners. I really do think he can get very well involved in that battle for the race win. He just needs to get through a lot of traffic to do so. Especially because he likely will be undercut by Viral and Phantom, so he's going to have to essentially overtake Phantom, Viral, Sully, Guga, Kuku, Sean and PC Woody in his medium stint. So that will be a tough ask for him. But we'll see if he can pull it off. He is almost in the range to Sully now. And if he could break away from Viral and Phantom, that will also be very crucial, because then maybe he could get far enough away from them not to be undercut. Scarby has made the move for 11th, though, is currently making the move for 11th, around the outside, now to the inside for the final corner. But surely, oh, he's already got the DRS. Side by side, entering into the banking. Pix goes around the outside, but now Gabri has got the DRS. I think so does Pix. Down the main straight, Gabri looking for the inside line, covers it off. Gabri switches to the outside, brakes as late as he dares, and tries to hang it around the outside there. And a beautiful move by Gabri, not quite completed yet, picks alongside, has to back out in the end for turn 2, and Gabri up into 11th, continuing his comeback drive. Next up, Lanky Brown. And Flamers gets past Pix as well, made a mistake, coming out of turn 3. Having a big wobble there, has got tyre on the grass on the tyre. Well, I guess the tyre was on the grass as well at some point if he had grass on it, but yeah. Both Haas coming past Pix as they fly in formation. And Lanky has been passed by Gabri as well in an unorthodox spot. I think Lanky went off in that same corner we saw earlier where Bazooka had his race-ending crash. And Gabri's already back into the points. Flavors. That's a bit far back for a dive bomb, he thought about it. A half-hearted attempt, doesn't get into the gap, but he's making Lanky check his mirrors. I'm trying to unsettle him a little bit. 300 onto main straight now. And Gabri's gotten past Pocho, and Pocho's had a spin! Pocho is fully spun around, so that's part of his front wing lying there as well on the racetrack, and Pocho drops back to 15th. Such a great start he had, all for nothing. Picks in the pit lane now. And I think Pocho had a spin, yeah, just coming from the banking. He's going to pit as well to get that wing change, or to end the race, I think. Because he didn't even try to brake. Yep, and Pocho's out the Grand Prix. Down to 15 drivers now, both V-Carbs out the race, the only Mercedes out the race. So we are racing with 8 teams from here. Two of everyone, and then 1 Sauber, and that's it. No V-Carbs, no Mercedes. But all of the Constructors' Championship contenders. Well, Aussie down all the points, visibly on the way to a win though as it stands. Ferrari 7th and 10th, not the best result for them. Red Bull 5th and 8th, not the best result for them. Alpine 3rd and 4th, in a solid spot. And as it stands, Alpine would take the most points out of this race, with 27, over McLaren's 25. Red Bull would be taking 14, Ferrari would be taking 7. And then it changes just then as Flavors gets past Lanky. Lanky out of the points paying positions now. With that, Ferrari down to 6 points, and Ferrari already quite far behind in the Constructors' Championship. If they come out of this race, well, 44 or more points, well, yeah, behind the leader. Stands there 54 behind, so they actually need to gain 10 points on Alpine. They're 44 behind Red Bull, so Red Bull, they would need to keep it where they are, basically. And they are 45 behind McLaren, so they need to gain 1 on McLaren. So yeah, as it stands, Ferrari definitely out of the championship fight. It's a bit, it's too complicated, I think, to do the math on the fly. Because, well, there are 4 teams of 2 drivers each. So I think I'm going to go through all of that at the end of the race. But, yeah, keep an eye on those teams for sure. As Sean is about to reclaim the lead here. He goes on the inside to turn 1. He's got the overspeed with the DRS, goes a little bit deep, but not nearly enough for Pacific to think about a switchback. And Sean Moore, for the second time this race now, has got the lead. Lap 13 of 36. This is where this is when we saw the first pit stops in Division 3 as well. Of the ones who went for a one-stop strategy, but that was Aussie. And by the end, Aussie's tyre was absolutely wrecked. So it's a little bit earlier, I think, to pit now. I think if I remember correctly, he said he was at 87% when he got over the line. So, not now I think, but we aren't far away from the pit stop phase. And we'll see, he's going to try and pull down the car. JM has now firmly joined this battle. He's in the S range to Sully. He's got 2 seconds of Phantom, he's got 2 seconds survival. And it would be crucial for JM to come out of the pit lane later, ahead of him. Of course, he will take the lead for a short while when all of the 5 guys ahead of him go into the pit lane. And then he's got another couple of laps, depending on how early the pit. Well, he has to keep going so he can go to the mediums and go to the end as well. Showmul has really dropped the hammer here. 8/10 clear of presumably entering the DRS zone. He wants to try and break DRS, and we've got a pit stop from Sully. Very early in the pit lane he is. End of lap 13, like I said, Aussie was in puncture range. And Rival in as well, both Red Bulls in at the same time. He's got a yellow flag for Aussie. And he's got a puncture! Aussie on lap 13 already with a front left puncture. And that is going to make McLaren's title hopes, well, all that more difficult. I mean, he wasn't in the points anyway, but he's just made himself a lot harder for himself, or it's gotten a lot harder for him to get points from here. And lap 13, we're already getting punctures. That is crazy. Sully comes out in 9th, Viral in 10th. Gabri also already in the pit lane. And Pix was in there a couple of laps ago. Slankybron comes out behind them. Aussie dropping to last position with the puncture and the pit stop now. But of course, Action Rig, I think, will be less than the pit stop ahead of him. So once Action Rig comes in the pits, Aussie will be back up to 14th at least. But unlikely now that Aussie can score points in this Grand Prix. PC Wooly has been left on his own to fly the flag from McLaren. I can't believe that people have to pit that early. PC Wooly's in as well with the undercut on Sean here. I'm trying to undercut, or trying to cover the undercut of Sully as well, of course. His championship rival coming in quite early. And that's Van den Fox into the pit lane as well. Both McLaren and Ferrari in at the same time, and Flavors also in the pits now. And where's Sully? Coming onto the main straight here, going past the pit entry, of course. Is he gonna beat PC Wooly? I don't think so. PC Wooly's already out the pit lane. There he is. And Sully is just behind him, just over a second back. But now the cold tires on PC Wooly's car, Sully should be able to get into the DRS range. And maybe, just maybe, PC Wooly and Sully could come out 1-2 here. But of course, Sully will have the worst tires of anyone in that train. Tough trace for him from here, I reckon. That is the risk you take when you box early. Of course, you get the advantage of the undercut, but you suffer for the rest of the race, as everybody else around you will have better tires than you do. So it's Sean, the two Alpines who are yet to pit off the mediums. The rest of the guys who haven't pitted since the start of the race on the hards. So they will go for another 7 or 8 laps maybe. Sean is in as well now. Both Alpines. No, Kuga's still staying out. Guga in as well. Sean and Guga responding to the undercuts of PC Wooly and Sully. Then of course hard tires for them both to try and go to the end. But we already saw one puncture in this race, which I didn't expect to be so early, honestly. We'll see any more. Sully is too far behind PC when you think about a move to turn 1. And let's see. That is Guga coming out behind them, and Sean has kept the lead. After the pit stop, he's still ahead of PC Wooly, but he is stuck behind PubDog and losing valuable time here. As Pix gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and with tires in the race as well. Sean looking for the move on PubDog around the outside into turn 7, and this would be absolutely crucial if he can pull it off. But they make a bit of contact. PC Wooly doesn't look up the inside, but no, he doesn't need to risk this right now. He's got Sully right behind him. Sully looking for the move, sends it on the inside. What a move by Sully, as he saw PC Wooly in the dirt. He had to brake early. And he takes the opportunity, grabs it with both hands. Sully now on the outside line down. PC Wooly slips back through, but Sully now the slipstream on Sean. PC Wooly getting closer and closer to Sean. Might have to go for a move. He goes up the inside. He does, yes. Kuku in the pit lane now. As Sean, PC Wooly and Sully are losing so much time. Stuck behind PubDog. Could Kuku come out in the lead here even? These are crucial moments for the race right now. PubDog still has held on the entire lap. Now that the Sean should get through, you would think. As PubDog covers the inside line. But he's got no answer. PC Wooly is too far back now, I think. Or is he? Flying into the braking zone on the outside line. Goes deep. And PubDog is going to slip back through. And that is Kuku into the lead of the race, coming out the pit lane with the overcut strategy. Sully still stuck behind PubDog as PC Wooly goes around the outside from turn 2. Sully and Guga need to get past here because they can see the leading train flying away. Sully with that massive undercut, it's not paid off for him. He's still in essentially 4th place as he has gotten past PubDog now, but he's going to have to put the foot down to try and stay within the DRS range of PC Wooly here. Guga needs to get past PubDog as well. Is he going to go for that? Surely not. That's such a risky move when they make contact. But Guga and PubDog, thankfully, both coming out okay of that, and Guga ahead now. And in the DRS range to Sully, maybe, just about, or just about not. I think just about not. No DRS for Guga. But Kuku, what a strategy call. I'm not sure if he was aware that they would come out right behind PubDog, or if he just got lucky. But either way, he has overcut his way into P1, which is not something you usually see in F1 25. But that has worked to absolute perfection. Now he has track position and he has the tires. But Sean is in the DRS, and Sean is not gonna let Kuko stay in P1. There he goes, up the inside, into the effective lead of the race, P2 of course, since Jay is still out on track there. And of course for Jay, this was also very, very good. They have lost a lot of time. All of the medium runners, apart from Kuko, have lost a lot of time, or the medium starters I should say, sorry, have lost a lot of time behind Papdog. He will come ahead of JM, there's no question about that. But he will be a lot closer than he would have been otherwise. You see, already looking for a run on Kuko here. He can't allow Sean to get too far away if he wants this race win. But Kuko is doing a good job keeping up with Sean as well. And I would expect maybe a lead swap on the main straight again. They are almost, yeah, they're basically bang on equal on the EIS, so that's not going to play much of a factor. Only whether they choose to use it, I guess. But they can use the exact same amount. PC when he's sniffing at the gearbox of Kuko. What a battle this is between Sean, Kuko, PC and Sully. All of Division 2's champions bar Edwin and Menaceman, active champions, in the battle for the lead of this race as Kuko has re-overtaken Sean. The is too powerful really for Sean to try and hold on. He might have to try again next lap to re-overtake. And just keep swapping back and forth. I think while they swap, they have a better chance of staying ahead of PC if they were to maybe slow down a bit to stay behind. PC is going to immediately take that chance and move up into P2, I reckon. He's just waiting for any sort of tiny mistake that he can pounce on and get himself back into those top 2 positions. And once you're in that top 2, once you get into the position to play DRS games, it doesn't really matter if you're first or second, but you don't want to be third or lower, because from there, the guy ahead of you also has DRS, so your advantage is nullified, and you have to do it, yeah, you have to overcome the dirty air without any extra advantage. It only gets more difficult the further down the train you go, because you are further away from the DRS games being played up front, which can cause a bit of, yeah, backing up, and maybe give you a run somewhere. And Kuko, unable to defend once more. I don't think he wants to defend also, he lets Sean back through. Sean back into the lead. Third lap in a row now we see a lead change as Phantom gets past Papdog in P7. Gabri not too far behind either. Lap 20 of 36. And Sean, in his 100th race in Division 2, like I said a few times now, I can come back to it. It is very nice to see him back on form. I talked shit about him actually earlier in the chats, but it's all in good fun. Sean, an absolute legend of Division 2. I mean, statistically the best driver we've ever seen in Division 2. The most wins, I believe, and for sure the most championships. The triple world champion. Oh, but he's getting loose already. A lot of traction loss on the exit there. Might be struggling with red tires already, but it's very early for them. We were only 4 laps into the stint. I think Kuko is too far back now, or is he? He's not burn United EAS jet on the straight. And he goes back up the inside and reclaims the lead again. Papdog is in the pits now, on lap 20. And so is Viral back in the pits. For a second time, the Red Bull man. Yeah, for a wing change. He's picked up wing damage somewhere. And that is a knock to Red Bull's title hopes. Sully now left fighting on his own. His Viral drops to P12. And right now it looks like Alpine are in a great spot here. They are the only 2 really, with 2 cars running in a good position. McLaren have got PC Volley in effective P3 and Aussie out the points. Red Bull have got Sully in effective P4 and Viral out the points. Ferrari have 7th and 10th, which will, I think, turn into 6th and 10th for the JM pits. But then I think JM will get back past Phantom. As JM is now in the pit lane. End of lap 21. Quite early, I would say. 15 laps in the mediums. Yeah, maybe it's doable. Also got a puncture after 13, just remember that, but no one else did, and I think Yeah, Kuko went quite a bit longer than that. And JM, quite crucially, was gonna come out down in 8th. So he's gonna have to get past Gabri, get past Phantom, get past Guga if he wants to chase after that top 4. A lot of work to do for JM here. PC really looking rapid. He's all over Markov Sean in the battle for 2nd place. He's losing ground to Kuko. He needs to try and stay a bit closer than that, I think. He can't allow Kuko to break DRS because then PC will almost immediately overtake him. And I think Kuko... I think if I'm Kuko, I want to keep Sean in DRS. I do not want PC chasing after me. No disrespect to Sean, but I think PC is the stronger driver, especially on current form. He has been in electric form as of recently. And I think Sean with DRS to Kuko has a lot better chance of defending against PC than Kuko has without DRS on anyone. And they are swapping once more. Sean closed in a lot from that final sector. And Kuko lets him take the lead. Gabri with the fast lap of the race as he goes for the move on Phantom! And they crash! On the straight! And we've got a virtual safety car. As Phantom, I only saw the crash and didn't see what happened before, but he must have made contact with Gabri, as Gabri just overtook him, and otherwise he would not crash on a straight. And we've got a full course safety car now, deployed out on tracks, coming up the pit lane right there. And what a shame that is for Phantom. Puts an end to his race, and I think an end to Ferrari's title ambitions as well. They are now mathematically out of the fight, I'm pretty sure, unless Lanky pulls an absolute miracle to keep it in it, and, well, you have to basically win the race. Papdog is in the pit lane for a version of mediums, but he did speed as well, so an 10-second time penalty hanging over his head now. And that safety car has put a massive spanner in the works here, and it's a bit of a problem, I would say, for Guga. He's gonna have to double stack behind Kuko here if they both choose to pit. And I think I would pit. I'd want to pit for a fresh lot of tires, really. Even around here, even with the massive dirty air and the big advantage of having track position. There are quite a few laps to go. So I think the right call definitely is to pit to a fresh tire, whatever you have left, a medium or a hard, depending on what you chose. The tire allocation. Either one I think would be fine. I'd probably prefer a hard if I had both. But you never have both, so just pick whatever you have. And yeah, Sean is in, Kuko's in, PC in, Sonny's in, and Guga will be in as well. Yeah. Every single one is in. JM, of course, he was already in only a lap ago, so he might stay out. Get some track position. Question is, JM gets in the lead of the race here. Yes. A 2-lap tire disadvantage for JM, but he has got all the track position in the world. He is now leading the way. Sean, Kuko, PC, Sonny on hards, Gabri on mediums, Guga on hards, got jumped by Gabri in the pits, Flavors on the mediums, Lanky for the hards. And that's everybody now making a stop in the safety car, apart from Viral, I think. He's still on old tires, so he might come in this lap. Papdog might go to serve the 10-second speeding penalty, but I think this will put him on a used of tires then, so he has to pit again next lap to get back on the tire he's currently on. That's a bit silly, actually. Why can't he just go in, serve the penalty, and keep the tire he's currently on? I mean, it's not something you usually see in Formula 1, but in the game, it's I think you'd like to do sometimes, because now he's gonna get put back on a used set, no? Ah yeah, 2 laps. Okay, the one he had from the first pit stop. So it's actually not that horrible, but it has dropped him down to last to get that 10-second penalty off his record. So we'll have a 11 lap sprint to the end, I reckon. Maybe 10, depends how quickly I think Action Mac and Papdog catch the train here. We're now in a very interesting spot. JM on slightly older tires. Can he hold on to that lead? He has got a tire advantage in terms of the compound over most of the guys behind him, all the way down to Gabri. Of course, Gabri, I mean, I don't know, he had a crash with Phantom on the straight. I don't know who's to blame, but if Gabri is to blame, if you cause a crash on the straight, that's definitely a penalty. So we can keep that in mind, that Gabri, yeah, like I said, I don't know if he's to blame, but if he is, almost definitely will be a penalty. If Phantom is to blame, then yeah, nothing for Gabri. I think the safety car will be staying out one more lap. I don't think Action Rick and Pulp Dog will catch in time. So a 10-lap sprint to the end of the race from here. The two title rivals, P-Simony and Sully, down in 4th and 5th. That is more than enough for P-Simony to win the championship today, though. So I don't think he has much of a rush to get a move on. Of course, I'm sure he'd like to win the race, but he doesn't need to win the race, you know? He is totally fine there in P4. Sully, on the other hand, though, he's in a rush to get back up to the front. I mean, hypothetically, if Sully passes P-Simony, Kuko, Sean and Jay and wins this race while P-Simony is in 5th, that would be a 15-point swing in his favor, and he would only be 18 behind come the last race. Not too bad. If he actually does the last race, which, well, he very likely will not. Constructor Championship-wise right now, Red Bull 5th and 10th. Safety car. Viral, I'm not sure why he didn't pit. He's in a very shit position now with the old tires. I was gonna say they could have helped them, but no. McLaren 4th and 11th, also not a good bet. The only ones, I mean, Alpine 3rd and 7th are in by far the best position. They're gonna score loads of points over McLaren and over Red Bull here, as it stands at least. And coming to the last race, likely with a championship lead. But yeah, no matter what, it will go down to the last race. I mean, unless Red Bull, because they are the ones currently ahead, were to get a 44-point lead over everybody, for which they basically need to finish 1-2 and the rest to score almost no points. Which, as it stands, could not be much further away from, really. Both Red Bull 1-2 and Alpine and McLaren not scoring much. So that is not going to be happening today. The title fight in the Constructors will almost definitely still be a three-way fight. Come Abu Dhabi. Ferrari have dropped out. Like I said, unless Lanky pulls off a miracle and wins this race, really. With that Phantom DNF, it has marked the end of the hopes for the Tifosi. Safety car has been called in. Everybody's in the train. And Jay now controls the pace. He decides when to start the race once more for the last 10 laps of this Dutch Grand Prix. Still going slowly through the final corner. Of course, he is not going to be in any sort of rush to get restarted. He wants to wait as long as he can to get that run down towards turn 1, yeah, shortened. And now he goes, and he has caught Sean a little bit off guard there, and he is safe from Sean. But Kuko had a great start. Kuko has a run on Sean, maybe down towards turn 1, or does he? Ah, not quite. A little bit too far back, and the same goes all throughout the field. Lanky deep on the outside, gets ahead of Flamers for a brief second. Whoa, Lanky almost went off on the wall there. Thankfully for him, he caught that once again and avoided a massive crash. But everybody's staying where they are, apart from Rival. He's already lost all of the positions and he's down to 13th. Those old tires not working out for him whatsoever. P-Simony with pressure on Kuko, Gabri with pressure on Sully, Sully with pressure on P-Simony. It's all kicking off here on the restart. And Sully is in EAS all-tech mode the whole way through. He's just wasting battery and he's all over the place right now. Sully, wake up, turn your EAS off. And now he's got no battery to try and defend from Gabri. As Gabri's on the outside line. They almost made contact there, and Gabri is going to move up to 5th position. Sully can't hold on against him. The advantage of the medium tires, and Sully, your EAS is on. He's finally caught on. He's wasted so much battery there. And I think he'll run out of deployment as well down the straight. So he is now so vulnerable to Kuga behind. And up ahead, P-Simony looking for Kuko, waving left, right, but no space to be found. As Aussie gets past Rival for 12th. Not sure how Aussie dropped back to 13th actually. The top two almost got Kuko out of the EAS here. Sean and Jay picking up the pace, and Jay He's got his running shoes on. He wants to get away from those guys while their hearts are still cold. And Gabri wants to get through these guys while their hearts are still cold. He got one of the championship contenders. Gabri now after the other one. 3/10 back from PC Woody. Oh, that's not gonna help. Goes on the curve on the inside there, and a little moment from Gabri. Directs it very quickly. But it's losing him crucial half a tenth here, half a tenth there. Those tiny little mistakes, and he's not getting as close as he needs to. You need to be so close. The slipstream doesn't have much of an effect, and of course PC Woody has got DRS from Kuko as well. Gabri, is he close enough? 3/10 back? I don't think so. PC Woody is gonna hold on to 4th, and of course he's not gonna let Gabri through. So he has lost DRS now. Oh well, he's over second back, he's let DRS, that's great. Flavors! With a send on the inside of Kuko, it looked like. I didn't see the braking zone, but he wasn't far alongside there. And as the door slams shut on him, drops down to 13th. And that might go down to Stewards then, we'll see if Flavors was alongside early enough. That was way too short for me to tell. I couldn't properly see it from there. Aussie now back in the points, 1 more point on the board for McLaren here. But the gap to Papdog ahead, 2.5 seconds. So as it stands, 13 scored for McLaren, 15 and 6, so 21 for Alpine, and only 8 for Red Bull. So no one really scoring loads, but Alpine coming away the best. PC Woody might have a run on Kuko here, it's fairly close behind him. Kuko's low on ES, PC Woody burning overtake down the straight, but I think yeah, he's gonna run out of road there at the end. And Kuko holds on to 3rd for another lap more at least, but Kuko is low on ES. So if PC Woody can keep the pressure up, eventually he'll get past him. The Hearts coming into their own a bit more, I think now, picking up some heat. As Gabri with a nice run out of turn 3. Can he force a move into turn 7? But he already had an incident here earlier with Kuko, he doesn't want to risk it again now with PC Woody. And he couldn't get the run either. Sony and Guga moving back into DRS range now. Dirt here affecting the cars ahead quite a lot. Sean, 8/10 back from Sean. From Jay, sorry. Sean back from Sean, sure man. Jay looking quite fast right now, in control of the race. Question is if those mediums will drop off in the end. And if the race falls into the hands of Sean, Kuko and PC Woody. We've got a yellow flag for Viral, who's had a spin. Adding further misery to his race. It looks like he is locked in for P13 there. Not what he needs in this race whatsoever, as we have a move for 8 there. Lanky and Papdog battling through turn 1. And Papdog comes out here on the inside line. Gets himself those 4 points. But still, 5 laps to go. Lanky can definitely come back at him. Aussie's behind him, chasing after them. And he wants to surely try and secure those points for McLaren. And JM only recently made his return to Division 2 after a long time away. Could he be on his way to a comeback win here? That hard medium strategy paid off quite nicely for him. He got to pit just before the safety car. Would have been even better if he were to pit under the safety car. But he got to come out in the lead with only slightly worn tires. I think 2 laps he had on them. So really not a lot. And now the only question is if those tires can keep the pace in the end, because if they can, it looks like he has Sean under control. And Sean has got everybody behind him under control as well. The 100th race for Sean. A recent comeback to the lead for Jay. Who's gonna come on top here? PC Woody stuck in 4th. Kuko doesn't seem to have the pace. Gabri now with the traction. Out of turn 3 once more. But PC Woody covers him off in the burn all the way down to turn 7. Not gonna allow Gabri in. And Gabri is still stuck behind, and that is the problem with Zandvoort. There's just no real overtaking opportunities, especially if the guy ahead basically doesn't wave you through or is completely out of ERS, you're not getting past, especially if the tires are similar sort of age and wear and pace. It's just not happening, is it? Everyone is just completely stuck where they are. Luca's having a look up the inside, but that is way too far back for Send territory, especially into a corner like that. So tight, and the braking zone isn't even that long. It's like 85 meters, maybe 90 in race. It's just not worth that risk. You could throw away so much, and Sean now has got the run on Jay. Was very close behind him, heading into the DRS zone, and now goes past on the inside line. Sean in the lead of the race, with only 4 laps to go here in Zandvoort. That would be Sean's second win of the season. He won the opener in Australia. Ever since then, it's been a complete drought for him. A tough season. Could he redeem himself here in Zandvoort come the end of the season? Flavors onto exit of the soft, try and get the fastest lap at the depth of the race. Get another point for himself and for Haas. Doesn't look like he would have caught Aussie by for that 10th position by nearly enough. And Jay is dropping pace, he's far behind Sean. I think the mediums are showing lots of wear at this point. Kuku and PC really are going to try and take advantage of that. Sean is going to try and get Jay out of the ERS surely. To try and break far enough away that the rest of the field can't fight him on these last couple of laps. I'm sure Sean would love that if he were to have a comfortable win here, but right now Jay is still in the ERS range, so even Jay has not given up on this win yet. Has Jay got the tires left at the end of the race? He's got loads of ERS. Jay, what a run down towards turn 1! But he brakes early, decides better of it. Doesn't want to force the issue there. But I think he could have. If he wanted to, he could have gone for that move, and I think he could have been able to pull it off as well. He had so much overspeed. Either Sean was caught napping and didn't use enough ERS on the straight, or Jay has got some crazy low wings. Because from that far back, he should never be able to get a run. Even if the car ahead doesn't have the ERS. Viral in the pits as well now, following in Flavors. Both of them opting for a shot at the fastest lap, rather than trying to chase after Aussie. Of course, Viral on the old tires. Was a bit of a lost fight there. We've got 2 more chances for JM, and he's fairly close behind Sean. Does he want to go for it now, or does he want to wait, maybe, until the last lap? Or can he even go for it now? He's quite far behind. 7.5 tenths, 50% ERS. Sean using overtake. And looking behind, we've got Gabri and PC Woody very close to each other, and they are both also very close to Kuku, but I think... Yep, they all stay where they are. What can you say? It's Zandvoort. Nothing ever happens. It looks so close, and maybe you think finally someone's gonna make a move further down the train, but if you aren't in P2 in the train, you've got really no chance of making a move. Gabri once again trying it out of turn 3. But PC Woody has got that covered off, he expects it now. Yeah, a surprise move like that is a good idea, but the best place for a surprise move is out of turn 3. Into the flail section down towards turn 7. Gabri dipping a tire on the curbing there and moves wide. He saves it quite nicely, but slowly slips through, and Guga with a desperate lunge on the inside. That's not going to work out. And yeah, Gabri keeps P6. But another wobble there as he did the tire on the high curb again. But he's fine. Got away with that one as well. But Guga is very close behind him. Now the dirty air kills his exit though. Heading on to the last lap. Jay, 7 tenths back from Sean. That's surely too far. I think Sean has got that covered off. Jay will keep trying, of course, all the way down the straight. He's got loads of overspeed, Jay does, but it's too far back. Sean has held onto the lead. There are 2 more DRS zones though. And that's a run from turn 3 to turn 7. Has Jay got something for us here? Lanky makes a move on Pubbook into turn 1. Reclaims 8th position. Kuku looks closer to passing Jay than Jay to Sean right now. Jay quite far away. And Sean, is he on his way to a win in his 100th race in Division 2? What a story that will be. I think it is going to be, because Jay does not look to have the pace to stay close enough to make a move Anyway, if anything, yeah, Kuko, I think it's more likely he takes P2 here than Jay taking P1 back. Jay with a wide line that doesn't get the exit he needs, and Kuko so close behind him. Is he gonna make a move for P2 here? No. Doesn't want to risk the P3 position, doesn't want to risk the crucial points for Alpine the Constructors. So that means it is going to be Sean Moole here. We've got one more DRS straight, and if he has a half-decent exit, the 7-10 clear, that should be more than enough. And that is a half-decent exit. A very good exit, in fact. And Sean goes down towards the line, goes over the main straight, and can celebrate his second racing of the season in his 100th ever Division 2 race. J-Ham with a great drive as well, but the tyres in the end weren't enough to give a fight to Sean. P2 for him, Kuka comes up in third. Crucial points for Alpine. Pisivoli secures the World Championship mathematically now after China as well, where it was sort of, kind of, with knowing Sully was missing the final race, so we kind of clinched it there. Now it's fully clinched, no matter what. Pisivoli is your Season 17 Division 2 champion. Nothing can change now. Sully brings the car home in 5th. Also some solid points for Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship fight, 10 points for them. Gabri 6th position, a bit of damage limitation as he had a incident earlier with Kuko and another one with Phantom later. We'll see if he keeps that 6th place in the end. Guga brings home P7 for Alpine, good points for them, 3rd and 7th. Definitely the best performing team out of the championship contenders today. Lanky 8th, and unfortunately that means Ferrari has now dropped out of the fight for Constructors. And then I couldn't get the rest of the result in time, but I think it was Papdog 9th. And then Ossie rounding out the top 10, getting one more point from McLaren at least. But I think Alpine have surely taken the lead in Constructors now. If I'm not my math. Well, we'll see in a moment when we have the results scheme. But here's Sean on the podium. His second of the season. And he can be very, very, very proud of that drive. A great drive by Sean. Early stages, fighting with Pisivoli for the win. And yeah, great pace all throughout the race. Never lost his head. For example, when maybe that with Papdog, when he was stuck behind him and got overcut by Kuko. That is certainly a moment where I think some drivers would get angry and would think, I've lost it to this, that's so shit. But Sean knows he hasn't lost it then. It was far from over. He just went ahead and re-overtook Kuko on track. With the DS advantage. Flavors picked the fast lap up in the end. And yeah, Action Rig, one position away from the points, unfortunately. Flavors does get the point for the fast lap, then Rival in 13th. And DNS for Phantom, Pix, Pocho, Bazooka, and Krupio. So yeah, Red Bull, 10 points. Alpine, 21. And McLaren, 13. So with that, Red Bull had a 9-point lead over McLaren. So they're still ahead of McLaren. Alpine already led the way, actually. I had it wrong the round. I thought Red Bull was leading. So Alpine extends their lead in the standings. They were 9 ahead of McLaren, 10 ahead of Red Bull. So now they are in a very good spot come the last race of the season in Abu Dhabi. But it's not over yet. Both Red Bull and McLaren within contention to win this championship still. So something very exciting to look forward to in Abu Dhabi. 6 cars, 3 teams in a championship fight. Pisivoli has already clinched the Danish championship, and yeah, what a second half of the season he has had. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. I mean, at some point, Sully had a 60-something point gap. Pisivoli ate that up like it's nothing, and then created his own gap to clinch the championship with 1 race to go. Big congratulations, Pisivoli. His first ever championship in F1 Total after he's been here for so long. I think back on F1 2019 or F1 2020 is when he joined. Of course, back in the day, it's when we only had one division in the Saturday division, which is now Division 1. Yeah, and he's been here all this time. Won a race or two, of course, over the years, but never even in a championship fight. Now finally he's got his moment in the sun, and yeah, it's very nice to see Pisivoli being a champion. Yeah, for the first time in the league. Big congratulations, and that's all I have to say. Really unbelievable stuff. We already got a report from Phantom on Gabri. So, yeah, we shall see what happens with that. That could be more points going Alpine's way as well. Kuga was right behind him. And if Gabri were to get a penalty of any size, Kuga would jump him. So we shall see how that goes. I will inform you of that in the next stream. 7 days from now, the Abu Dhabi GP, the season finale in Division 2, the championship decider, Alpine, McLaren, Ferrari. As well as that, we have got the Dutch Grand Prix in Division 1 this weekend on Saturday at 7:30 PM UK. Should be streamed by Gabri. Yeah, looking forward to that race as well. Championship in the driver standings clinched by Kart Racer. He's now 52 points ahead of me, which is exactly 2 race wins with the fastest lap both times. So mathematically I could still tie him, but he would win on countback, so he's now champion. Since he has more race wins than I would have if I were to win the next 2 races. Constructors, though, still undecided. Haas and McLaren battling over these championships in the Constructors in Division 1. So McLaren could actually win both Constructors in Division 1 and 2 and do a clean sweep of the championships. They've already won the drivers in both Division 1 and Division 2 now with PC Rally and Kart Racer respectively. And it looks like they are on their way to a championship win as well. They are 32 points ahead of Haas in Division 1. In Division 2, they're going to have to do a bit of work in that last race to get that Constructors Championship win. But, yeah. Also, one more test race in Division 3 next week at Abu Dhabi on Tuesday as well. I should be able to stream it, hopefully. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Once again, one hell of a Grand Prix, one hell of a race. Division 2 always delivers absolute cinema, and yeah, I think it's time for me to stop yapping. I can already thank you for watching, thank the drivers for putting on a great show, and yeah, congratulations to Sean on the win on his 100th race, congratulations to PC on a championship. Have a good evening, and goodbye.